Hi, good evening, everyone, and welcome to this platform of ThiNC Digital Q. And today we have a language, and the topic for language is prepositions. So prepositions are normally short words, but they are very important in a sentence. Okay. So without wasting any time, I will just share my screen to you to tell you what prepositions are. So this is the platform Design Q, and we have prepositions. And what are the hints to know what is a preposition? Prepositions are an important part of the English language. A preposition is a word or a group of words used before a noun or pronoun expressing a relation to another word or clause in a sentence. So they are very important for the meaning of the sentence. For example, she drove to the store, and store is a noun. That is why I told you it can be used before a noun, and it shows the direction. The next sentence you have, between you and me, there is no problem. So it can be used with pronouns also. They are a closed class of words, meaning no new prepositions get added as the language grows. That is for adjectives, nouns, etc. As language grows, as more and more people communicate with English or any other language, no new words are added to a language. But as in the case of prepositions, no new prepositions are added. But you can find new nouns, new adjectives, etc. as the days go by. And they cannot be plural, possessive, or any other form. That is, whether the subject is singular or plural, whether the subject shows possession or anything, the prepositions do not change with the subject or the verb. Prepositions in English are highly idiomatic. That is, they have been used like there is no question why this preposition is used with such a verb. It is because it has been used so. Although there are some rules for usage, much of its usage is dictated by fixed expressions. Maybe certain cases you can find an explanation why such a preposition is used. But normally that is so because it is fixed by, or it is used from the days when English had been formed. And so now you have the same thing. Okay. Now, what are the types of prepositions? You have prepositions of direction. They are used to indicate the direction in which someone or something comes or goes. For example, Nikki is throwing a ball at them. So it shows a direction at which the ball is being thrown. Prepositions of time show when an event happens or happened. Vicky swims on Saturdays. So the time when is shown on Saturdays. On is used with days. For example, I work on Saturdays. I work on Mondays, etc. To refer to extended time, use prepositions since 1 year. Okay, for point of time, we always use since morning, etc. For, we use for a duration of time, for 2 hours, for 3 hours, etc. By 12 p.m., etc. During shows also time. From such and such a year to such and such a year. From such and such a year until we have something, and also within the time limit, within a week, etc. To refer to one point in time, in, at, and on are used. In is used to refer to parts of the day. For example, months, years, and seasons, not any specific time. Okay, so you can say in April, in June, in May, etc. In the year 1995, 2024, in 2024, etc. And in spring, in autumn, in winter, etc. At is used with the time of the day. For example, with the words at noon, at night, at midnight, at dusk, etc. Prepositions of place show where something or someone is. In is used when the area or volume is large. They will meet in the lunchroom because lunchroom is a little bit big. In is used before countries like in India, regions in the southern part of India, in Kerala, that is in states, and cities in Trivandrum, in Thrissur, etc. They live in India. At is used before a precise landmark. For example, she will find him at the library, at the park, etc. On refers to the surface. I have kept a bottle on the table. And inside refers to something which is enclosed on all four sides. To refer to an object higher than a point, use over and above. The bird flew over the house. Normally, we use over when there is a movement shown. And above, we use when there is no movement. For example, we have a terrace above our building. To refer to an object lower than a point, use below, beneath, under, and underneath. The difference between below, beneath, and underneath is below means at a lower point, beneath means something which is hidden under something. For example, the key is kept beneath the carpet. So the key is covered on all sides. So in such circumstances or situations, we use beneath. To refer to an object close to a point, use by, near, next to, between, among, and opposite. So by means which something is near, next to means very close, and between, among two things, among more than two. If it is between more than two people, you can say among, and opposite. Prepositions of spatial relationships. These prepositions are generally used to locate things in space. For example, above, across, against, ahead, of, along, among, around, behind, through, out of, etc. Now, when we learn prepositions, we also have to learn phrasal verbs. What are phrasal verbs? Phrasal verbs are two or more words that together act as a completely new word with a meaning separate from the original words. For example, pick up means to grab or lift, very different from the definitions of pick and up separately. Pick means, okay, to pick something from somewhere. Up means a higher direction. So when it is put together, it gives a very different meaning, grab or lift. A phrasal verb combines a normal verb with an adverb or a preposition to create an entirely new verbal phrase. For example, look up is verb look plus adverb, that is up. Look is again a verb and after is a preposition. Okay, so we have look up, which means to find out. Look up the word in the dictionary. So look up means to search. Look after, look and after means one coming after something. But look after, when it is put together, it means to take care of someone or something. Now, that was the end of our PPT presentation. That is the rules I have given you. Now, before we go to the exercise, I have one thing to announce, and that is THiNC Institute is conducting an accelerate examination or course, for the NIFT, upcoming NIFT examinations. And so the admissions are open, and those who are interested can contact the institute in this number 8086 111 044. And for further details, you can contact the THiNC Institute. It might be very good if you could join this course because it gives you a practice for the upcoming NIFT examination. Now we go to the exercises. Fill in the blanks using the correct prepositions. Turn left dash the crossroads when you reach it. So fill in the blanks using the correct prepositions. Turn left dash the crossroads when you reach it. And you have the options by, at, to, and in. So which one would you normally use? Is it by, is it at, is it to, or is it in? Can anyone just say if it is? Okay, we say turn left at the crossroads when you reach it because at always shows a specific point. By shows that it is nearby. So if you want to turn left before you reach the crossroads, that is crossroads is a junction, then you can say that before, if you want to turn left before you reach the crossroads, then you can say turn left by the crossroads. But here the question is when you reach it. So that means that when you reach the crossroads, it is specific point, you have to turn left. So it is at. Our mathematics teacher often emphasizes dash the need for a lot of practice. Is it on? Is it upon? Is it at or over? Any answers? Yes, it is upon. Our mathematics teacher often emphasizes upon the need for a lot of practice. Upon the need, because emphasize is a verb given. So emphasis means always some kind of stress. So it is upon the need for a lot of practice. With the RBI handing out licenses, dash new banks as well as new types of banks, such as payment banks, public sector banks will face many challenges. So is it for, to, towards, or from? It is handing licenses, dash new banks. So it is not for, it is to. So with the RBI handing out licenses to new banks. When we hand out something, for example, you hand out a gift, it is a handing out to some person. So whenever you say giving or handing out, it means to. So to new banks. Video games may not necessarily adversely affect the academic results dash children, contrary to most parents' perception. So video games may not necessarily adversely, that is, they may not affect negatively the academic results dash children. And the answer is in children. Sorry, of children. Video games may not necessarily adversely affect the academic results of children because the academic results belong to the children. So it is not inside the children, but the results are possessed by the children. So you always have of to show possession. The data recently updated till 2015 to 2016 shows that employment fell dash several factors. So fell dash several factors. So fell means it decreased. So normally we say it is fell by several factors. That is, it decreased in several factors. He is independent from his parents. He is independent of his parents because independent of his parents is the common usage which we say. Because when you translate it from your mother tongue, you may be tempted to say he is independent from his parents, but that is wrong. He is independent of his parents is the correct usage. Now read each sentence to find out whether there is any grammatical error in it. The error, if any, will be in one part of the sentence. The letter of that part is the answer. If there is no error, the answer is D. Ignore the errors of punctuation, if any. We discussed about the problem so thoroughly on the eve of the examination that I found it very easy to work it out. So here also, we have mistakes or errors in prepositions. Even though you have questions like this also, error correction, there also your preposition usage will be checked. So there are different types of questions. The first one was a fill in the blank. Now we have a sentence which is given maybe in a wrong way. Maybe there might be errors. Maybe there may not be errors. So what might be the error here? We discussed about the problem so thoroughly on the eve of the examination that I found it very easy to work it out. Actually, the mistake is in A. So for your examination, all you have to do is mark A as the error because that is that's the part which is erroneous. But I can tell you why it is wrong because you may not know why A is and there is an error in A. The erroneous part in A is that we discussed about. Whenever you use discussed, do not use about because already the meaning of about is in discuss. We discuss about some issues. So discussed will never take about after it. It already has a meaning of about in it. So we discussed the problem so thoroughly. So that is the answer. I could not put up in a hotel because the boarding and lodging charges were exorbitant. Exorbitant means very costly. So the answer will be, again, it is the first part which is wrong. That is A. I could not put up in a hotel is wrong. I could not put up at a hotel, because it is a specific location. You have not entered the hotel. So if you are entering the hotel, you can say, I am inside the hotel. But here, you could not find a boarding and lodging because they were very high. You could not get into a hotel. So it is, I could not put up at a hotel. The students were awaiting for the arrival of the chief guest. Now, the students were awaiting for the arrival of the chief guest. Which part might be erroneous? Here, the erroneous part is not D, no error, no. It is B. That is, the students were awaiting for is wrong. Whenever you use the word awaiting, do not use for. So the students were awaiting the arrival of the chief guest. That is a correct answer. Another answer is also possible. That is, the students were waiting for. When you use waiting, then you can use for. But when you use awaiting, do not use for. So there are two ways to answer the question. One is the students were awaiting the arrival of the chief guest. Another way is the students were waiting for the arrival of the chief guest. Now fill in with the correct phrasal verb. So phrasal verb, you might have understood, that is, it can be a verb plus a preposition or a verb plus an adverb. Someone dashed my house last night and stole the stereo. So it means that someone looted your house last night. So the correct phrasal verb is broke into. Yes, correct. Someone broke into my house last night and stole the stereo. Broke into means forcefully the person entered the house and stole the stereo. Broke down means some machine has is not in a working condition, it is what you call destroyed, or it is not in working condition, then you can say it broke down, my car broke down, etc. Will you be able to dash this month with the little you have? So the answer is, will you be able to dash this month with the little you have? Little means very little, very negligible. So will you be able to live is the meaning. So actually the phrasal verb you use here is, will you be able to get by this month with the little you have? Get by means, will you be able to live, or will you be able to continue with living with the small amount? So get by is the phrasal verb. Get off means to to deboard, or to come out of a train or a bus. You say get off. That is when you get down a bus or a train or a car, or it's something like that from a vehicle, you say get off. Okay. His father always taught him not to dash those people who haven't gone to college. Not to dash those people who haven't gone to college. So his father always taught him. So when fathers teach their children, it might be a positive quality that they teach. So his father always taught him not to. So not to look down on those people who haven't gone to college. Look down means not to consider them inferior to you, not to consider them not your equal, etc. So it is a negative phrasal verb. Look down on means you are not considering someone as your same or as your equal. So his father always taught him not to look down on those people who haven't gone to college. Now, look up to means you are considering someone as your ideal. I look up to my father for the charity or for his charity work. I look up to my father for his generosity, you can say. So that's a very good quality. So for good qualities, when you want to emulate, or when you want to follow someone, or when you want to imitate someone, then you always say look up to. Okay, that's a positive phrase. Stop complaining and dash your work. So stop complaining. So that means you have to continue your work. So stop complaining and dash your work. So it might be get on with your work. Get on with your work means continue your work. So stop complaining and continue with your work. Get over means you have surmounted, or you have been successful or getting over some kind of problem. Okay, so she was successful in getting over the sadness or the misery of the death of her parents, etc. So get over means you are successful over some kind of negative emotions or feelings or incidents in your life. The boss wants you to dash your figures for this month to him. Is it hand out or hand in? So the boss wants you to hand in your figures for this month to him. Now, what is the difference between hand out and hand in? So hand in means you are giving something, or you are submitting something to someone, maybe your boss, because it's boss here. So someone wants you to do some work, and you are giving, or you are submitting those figures or submitting some work to your boss, and that is hand in. Okay, now hand out means to distribute something. Please hand out these sweets or please hand out these papers to them. So that means you have to distribute those papers. Okay. Now we are going to have to dash our trip to Spain until September. So we are going to have to dash our trip to Spain until September. So till September, you want to postpone your trip to Spain. That is the meaning. So the correct phrasal verb to use there is put off. Put off means you postpone your trip to Spain. It is not the meaning of cancel, but the meaning is postpone. So we are going to have to put off our trip to Spain until September. Now put up. What is the meaning of the phrasal verb put up? Put up means to temporarily stay in some place. Okay, not your original staying place, but somewhere for a short time you stay temporarily, and that is known as put up. We put up our tent in the forest. When we went for the picnic, we put up our tent in the forest. That is, for a short stay, you are staying there in the forest. So put up means a temporary stay somewhere. Now, again, I repeat, that is the THiNC Design Institute is conducting or is commencing a program for the NIFT preparatory batch for your upcoming examination. Those students who wish to join that course can please get in touch with the THiNC Institute in this number, and do not forget to enroll yourself. So I think the prepositions are clear. Thank you for joining in. Have a good day. Thank you.